to what I call a divine download of something that's been coming through for quite some time, and I thought I'd share it with you today. And before I dive into that, I'll just preface this, that in 2016, I had a few downloads that were happening, especially when I was on meetings with clients, and I would like start channeling through the client's vision and purpose with them and for them. And I remember this one particular client was, I suppose, a catalyst for some of these downloads. And we were downloading that for her particularly, her role was actually going to be to help corporate people to start their own business. Now, there's a whole thing about that. So the vision was, this is in late 2016. The vision was that I was seeing, and not just with this client, but then activated as a general, I was seeing people literally jumping out of corporate windows, like corporate buildings, not to their deaths or anything, but like, let me out, free, right, in a joyful, gleeous way, like, I'm out of here. I had visions of highways around the world being completely empty. I had visions of cities being completely empty. So remember, this is way back in 2016. Now, I wasn't asking for this information. It was just these visions that were coming to me. And this is not me being special, by the way. This is, we all often have these. However, I really dove into these visions and thought, I wonder what this means. And what was coming through was, and again, back in 2016, what was coming through was that the way that we worked and lived as a society was going to flip completely. It's going to flip completely. No longer were we going to be doing Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. No longer were we going to be sending our kids to school Monday to Friday, 9 to 3, or whatever it is. No longer were we all going to be jumping in our cars and driving on the roads at the same time, you know, peak hour times. No longer were we going to be doing like that rat race. How that was going to show up, I had absolutely no idea. No idea. I just assumed that people would just start going and having an awakening, like, I'm not going to do this anymore, and jumping out the corporate window. Little do we know then, from 2020 and over the last couple of years, pandemics, COVID, all of the things, that these visions were literally a reality, right? It may seem like we're kind of going back to normal, but I would actually say that the last couple of years have been a catalyst for a mass awakening and a mass change in the way that we live our lives and the way we do business, right? If you agree, comment below. Let me just jump over. I've got to get the feed up and see if there's any comments as we go. If you're just joining, please, hello, everybody. There you all are. Please say hello in the chat. Also, too, I do love to be able to serve you well as I go on these lives. So if you are, if you're a startup in business, right, startup. If you're been established in business for a while, right, established. And if you are that person who is really at a point in your business and your life where you're feeling like you're ready for a rebirth, I'd love you to comment rebirth. Just really gives me an idea of, you know, where you're at. No judgment either way. Hi, everybody. Good to all have you here. Great. Okay, you made it. Yay. Woohoo. All right, so let's dive on in. So before I go into what I believe the future of marketing is, let me dive into what I believe marketing will not be anymore. All right, now this could ruffle feathers. This could be, I don't know, this is just my predictions. This, no judgment or anything. This is just where I see things crumbling down. And if you know the law of creation, then you'll know that things have to be dismantled and crumbled down for the new to be rebirthed. And that's what I believe is happening in business. By the way, it's happening in everything. So media, schooling, politics, money, all the things. But today I'm just focused on marketing in business. So What I believe will stop working very soon is the following. I have my notes, so I just want to make sure I've got that. So if you think about back in the old days, that when I say old days, like let's imagine the 50s and 60s. It's proven now that, there was subconscious and subliminal marketing going on in like supermarkets, buy the soda, buy the washing powder, all of that kind of thing. So this coercive marketing. Now, this has played out for a very long time, and it plays out in this day and age too, that it's coercive marketing, or what I would call influence marketing. And what that is, it's like any marketing that is actually based on a business trying to coerce or influences someone's perception of a product, brand, or service that they then are programmed to believe that they need that product or program will actually stop working. Now, this has been working solid for a very, very long time. Us, the little humans, we're very easy to program. Our little minds are very easy to be shown ad after ad, or told that, this is the best thing ever. If you don't have this in your life, then your life means nothing, right? So we fall for it. We drink the Kool-Aid, and I drink it. I have drunk it. I still drink it. I'll probably still drink it for a little while, right? I drive a BMW. I have all the things. By the way, I do like my things, so we can have that. And we want to be sure that marketing to us and from us is not from a place of coercion or influence. As I'm talking about all of these points, I want to be really clear that I'm not shaming anyone or judging anyone for this. This is just what's happening and what will start not working. So if you're interested in doing marketing and sales in a way that feels really good to you and feels really good to your potential customers and clients, then, listen in. Fear-based marketing. Fear-based marketing will stop working. And in fact, I believe that fear-based marketing is already starting to not work. What do I mean by that? If you're doing marketing that actually focuses on the pain of that client, then that's going to stop working real fast. So I'll give you an example. If you are, let's talk about, like a lot of these people here are service-based. So let's talk about a coach. And if you're a coach who is, I was talking to someone just yesterday, they're a relationship coach. And we were saying that we're trying to, really figure out her niche and her mission and what she stands for. And she was talking about, how one of the things that she does is stop wives and women partners from being a bitch and nagging to their husbands and partners and all things. And how, that's painful, and, how it feels to the other person, all of that kind of thing. Now, that's fine. By the way, this is not the best example. I could probably go deeper than this, but just for want of a better example that came to mind. That's fine. However, that doesn't inspire hope or inspiration. So I said to her, if your marketing copy is very much about like that you feel awful about yourself for doing it, there's guilt and shame, especially if there's fear involved as well, people are not going to connect with that anymore, right? They actually want to connect with the inspiration and the hope and the vision. And we'll talk about that in the next section in a moment, more about that. But anything that focuses on the pain of your customer and client, I believe, will just stop working. The next part of marketing that I believe will not work anymore is anything based on scarcity. So, you've all seen it. You've seen the timers, you've only got 3 hours left, or if you don't buy now, it's going to go up in price. Look, hand up, I do this, right? I've done this for years, and, often it's a truth, like that I only have a certain number of spaces. However, if your marketing is based on scarcity and it's not actually true, people will see through it. They'll feel through it, right? So it might be that you go, oh, I've only got 3 spaces, where you actually have like infinite. If, you know, it's like, if you don't buy right now on this sales page, you'll never get offered this deal again, right? We've all been there. That will stop working, because people are like, actually, no, I'm pretty sure that I could just go on your website and get the same deal. So scarcity marketing is very much about getting a customer to take action for fear that they're going to miss out, right? It's going to stop working. What is also going to stop working marketing is treating clients like a number. Treating clients like a number. Now, I could make a really big thing of this, so I'm just going to go a little easy today. I'll give you an example. There's a really beautiful coach who I admire and respect, and she's doing incredibly well. And I've watched her journey over the last couple of years. She's kind of gone from nothing to multiple 7 figures in the last couple of years. Beautiful, awesome work, love everything she does. And she put a post out the other day, and it was very much about what she sees as the future of marketing in the coaching industry, like what offers are going to work. And she was saying that over 50% of her revenue at the moment is actually through passive income of online programs and online masterclasses, like self-study kind of stuff. And how in the next 12 months, they'll actually turn everything, majority of what they do, into that self-study online sort of passive revenue. Now, great for her. Awesome, tops, like passive revenue. Go for it, girl. And, you know, she's teaching others to do the same. What I believe that does, it treats us all like we're just a bloody number, like we're just a dollar sign. Like if you really went into the frequency of that, it's really about, I actually don't care about your transformation. I just want your money so that I can have full freedom, flexibility, etc. And then I'm going to sell you the freedom and flexibility by doing the same thing that I'm doing. But then what it actually does is doesn't leave anyone with a true and real lasting transformation. Now, I'm not saying that online programs don't work, but I'm saying that online programs don't work, right? We have tested it. We've tested it. I'll give you an example. And I say much love to the clients of mine that have purchased my online programs, and it's not your fault. We sold our 6-month live coaching program into an online, more affordable self-study. We had a look in the back end of the average percentage of open rates of the modules, and it was 3%. Now, I thought, I was very ashamed by myself. I'm like, oh my God, like why aren't I delivering better content, or, you know, for them to actually go and open it? But then we actually looked at all online programs, and the average is 3% that people actually do the work. So then if you're going to go into passive revenue and put more online programs, self-study out there, no, you're actually not serving your client. You might be serving yourself. I believe that will stop working. People will start going, oh, hang on a second. How many online programs have I bought in the last, 3 years that I haven't even opened, or I've done hardly any of it? Like, put your hand up. Is that you? Let me have a quick look at the chat. Right. Oh, great. We've got some beautiful comments here. Well, too many comments for me to look at right this second. So I'll just keep going, and I'll come back and look at the comments after if I don't see them as they come through now. What I also believe will stop working is volume-based marketing. What I mean by that is the big group coaching programs, or the, thousands of people per guru following them, and, that power over power situation that can sometimes happen. Just think of Tony Robbins, like bless him, love him, all the things. But it's this guruization that we make when we have these big volume programs. Now, I love impact and I love reach. However, I just believe it's going to change. I really believe that it's going to flip the other way. All right. And so we'll talk about that in a moment. People are going, yes, I love face to face. Humans need heart connection. Yeah, Michelle, that's so true. So these are the things that I believe are not going to work anymore. And just to tick off a few of the marketing methods that I believe won't be working anymore. And when I say that, I don't give a time frame. Like my last vision took about 3 years to come through. But I actually think we're going to see it starting to crumble now. Things like the long funnel. Like, who wants to be put through a funnel? Like, as a human being, do you want to be put through a funnel where you go over here, you click something, then you want something, and then, you put through this fence, and then this, you've got to jump over here, and you've got to do a thing, and all of these things, and so my brain even gets scrambled thinking about it. Long funnels, right? I don't believe they're going to work anymore. Things like the 4-part video series, right? By the way, I've done every funnel known to man. I've tried them all, don't you worry. Those long copy sales pages, when you go on and it's like miles and miles and miles and miles of long, and what it's basically doing is programming your mind from the top of the page to the bottom of the page to buy, to convince you, like, go to the above content, to convince you that you need this and that your life is not complete without this product or service, etc. I believe that anything, again, that's fear, scarcity, or pain-based funnels or ads are going to stop working. I believe that this, oh my God, who's with me here? The selling in Messenger, like, hey, how you doing today? Would you like to buy my XYZ, right? Who, like, I don't even know who's teaching that. And I don't even know if it works. Like, it's got to be volume based, because it just pisses me off, and I'm sure it does to you, right? And so even things like the cold friend request strategy. Now, I know this actually works for some people, right? I do feel it's going to stop working soon, because marketing is like fashion. It's a trend. And then someone at the top is teaching this particular strategy, like way up the top. And then people are learning it down the line. I was teaching it for a bit. We actually did it for a bit. I thought, I've got to put my mouth where my money is and try this strategy out. And far out, like, it just meant that we worked this much and got this much from it. So I'm just not available. And it's a bit weird, to be honest. It's a bit weird, because, like, you think about you getting message, someone goes, hey, how are you doing today? What do you do for a living? Right? How does that make you feel? Because number one, I'm like, why the friggin' hell can't you go look at my website and my Facebook page and Instagram and check it out first, and then come back to me? Like, it's just lazy, right? It's meaning like, hey, I want something from you and I can't be bothered to actually go and research you, right? A whole other story. I can sell through Messenger in a beautiful, integrous, graceful, high frequency way that is completely different to this. So anyway, it all comes from the frequency. And, the whole bot conversation. So many of you would have had the, hey, is that worth 7 minutes of your time? We all know who we're talking about there. And that's usually a bot. It's not a human. So we are all getting savvy. We can feel what doesn't work anymore, right? Yeah. Small talk just to pitch. Yeah, small talk just to pitch. Like, seriously, when did we do the small talk just to pitch? Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Someone said to me, and I bless you if you're listening, but someone said to me, hey, it's Saturday. Are you working? No, I'm not fucking working. Like, have you looked at what? I homeschool my kids. I have a great life. I have boundaries. Not working. Just random stuff. Anyway, I get a bit pissy about that, because I'm like, if you really were interested in connecting with me, you'd do your research and you'd talk to me in a different way. Anyway, who wants to know what I believe is the future of marketing? All right, shift number one. I'm just going to talk about some shifts. The shift, I believe, number one, is people. Now, I've kind of said it throughout all of this, that it's the opposite of not, pitching people as numbers. It's the opposite. It's actual connecting with people. And I believe often, like, in the flesh, human to human, touching, having a heart-to-heart hug, right? I really believe that we're going to go, really, it's going back to when we didn't have the internet, right? I know the internet is amazing. It connects us all around the world. However, I just feel like there's going to be such a big shift back into people-to-people contact. And it's interesting with the whole last couple of years situation that was actually discouraged. Like it was trying to push us apart. I don't want to get into conspiracy theories, but I'm into conspiracy theories because they're often proven true. We'll talk about that later. But you know what I mean? So it's actually people in a room, deep and meaningful connections, relationships, and intimacy. Remember the good old days when you go to the local milk bar? I'm from Victoria. And, the shopkeeper would know your name, know your mum's name. You go into, the clothes store down the high street and everyone would know who you were. I used to be able to walk down my high street in Budrum, literally knew everyone, like, hey, hi, all of the things. Like, I loved it. And I really believe we're getting back to that. We're getting back to local, right? I'm all about connecting globally across the world, but I really feel like a lot of this is going to come back to village and local, right? In terms of, say, coaching, I am a coach, so that's the industry that I know really well. We were really taught to scale your business, you must go to group programs. And I had a perception for years that I needed to have a group program of like 100 people. And if I didn't have 100 people, I wasn't successful. Now, what's really interesting in my company is that we're pretty much always average around 25 to 30 clients. Now, because I'm high ticket as well, that means we can earn some great money. But what it also means is I've been able to go really deep and get connected with my clients. Like often I know my client's dog's name, right? And so I realized that I've always been doing this anyway. And so I've really unhooked from the egoic perception that I must have lots of people in a big coaching program. As I said to you, we tried the online program. We thought, yeah, let's get some passive revenue. It don't work and I'm not available. I'm not available for things that don't create a real transformation for my clients. Local, we're saying workshops in person, my one-on-one are crazy, right? And so this is where I think too, for your clients, one-on-one is actually really deeply transformational. I know for me personally, I show up very different in a one-on-one situation than I do in a group. In a group situation, I can often try and make myself be the 1%, like the top dog, so to speak, so that I don't have to show my shit in front of people. Hey, self-aware, very self-aware. So I know for me that I'm moving more into, I'm offering one-on-one, which I haven't done for years and years. So I'm actually offering beautiful connection one-on-one. I do love the community as well. That's one of my other shifts. Shift number 2 is everything we do in marketing will come from a frequency of love, a frequency of love. If you want to know more about that, I actually have created a lot of trainings on the frequency of love and how to do that. And knowing that when you are actually emitting your marketing via your heart space in a frequency of love, it actually has way more impact and connection rather than from your mind. All right, so love frequency. Yes, you do, and I love it. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Beck. Right, so love frequency. So you want to be looking at now. This is now, by the way. If you can shift your marketing into these shifts that I'm showing you now, you will be ahead of the game. You will be the ones who are actually bringing in incredible money for yourselves and the impact that you have on others, right? And the quicker you shift out of these old ways, you're going to be the leaders in the market, guarantee it. Shift number 3 is highest vision. So Going back to what doesn't work is targeting clients' pain or their fear to elicit them to purchase from you. It will be the opposite. It will be expanding them into their highest vision, hope, inspiration, what is possible. This is the new way of marketing. So if you've got any copy in your marketing that is about fear, scarcity, lack, etc., like, you know, really reminding people how shit they feel about themselves, it's going to stop working. So I invite you all to move into the highest vision. We were taught, look, man, I've been taught marketing 101, right, for years. You know, we used to do pain-based marketing. But for a long, long time, I haven't done that. It's really about the highest vision. Love, says people, loving this, babes, all about the heart. Yeah. All right, number 4, marketing shift number 4 is we are all going to be connecting and co-creating with our business entity, right? Instead of thinking about your business as just kind of an extension of you, it's actually a separate entity and energy. And what you will be doing, and many of my clients are doing it right now, and I have to always look behind me in case I run over a dog. Think about this. We are going to be able to connect in energetically to our business entity. And I'm like putting my hands up here as if it's like right here. It's like we've got a soul star chakra, which I believe is the gateway to all of our highest truth, Akashic records, universal, quantum, all of things, right? Anyway, another training that I have on that. So it's like you'll be able to download that business entity of what it wants you to express out into the world. It'll bypass your mind because your mind is programmed to only work from the past, and that's often programmed, and have it come through your heart space. As I said, shift number 2 is in love frequency, and be expressed out through your heart space into what your business entity wants you to do in the world. Right? So it's actually a co-creation with your business entity. How super freaking cool is that? We're actually now running VIP days where we have a private ceremony with myself, one of my team, we call her Priestess Sarah, and we do a ceremony so that the client and myself and Sarah, we all connect with the business entity and we download what wants to be expressed through the client out to the world in a frequency of love, so that it raises the consciousness of the planet and has abundance and style and ease and grace and all the things, right? Super friggin' cool, right? So if you're interested in a VIP day to do that with me, just message me VIP day. And after that, then we strategize how to bring that highest vision out to the world. And that's obviously my business background, marketing background, but I'm still channeling the business entity. Like, so it's not me. It's not, like, I use obviously some of my wisdom and my skills and knowledge, but between the client and I, we actually channel it. Like, don't make it up. Don't do it from fear, scarcity, ego, programmed mind. Ask the entity. If you're interested in like knowing a little bit more about this, just go and read the book Big Magic by, what's her name? Elizabeth, Eat, Pray, Love author. She talks about how she had a vision for a book, the full plot and everything, and she went to write and she couldn't write it. Anyway, she went to have lunch with a friend of hers who's also an author. And the friend said, oh, I've just written a book about the Amazon. And it was the exact same plot, right? So it's like the universe has these messages that it wants to come through certain people, and it will come through you. And if you do nothing with it, it'll go, I'm going to move on to someone else who's ready to channel what the essence is of what needs to come out into the world, right? Beck says it sounds epic. All right, let's go to then the last bit of today. And there's more about this, right? I'm just trying to keep it relatively short. The new marketing methods. So we talked about the old marketing methods that I believe will not work anymore. This is what is going to work. And it's actually working already for myself, right? I use myself as a guinea pig and my clients. 1, energetically connecting with our clients, right? This is not an ad on Facebook, literally energetically connecting with our clients into the quantum and calling them in. We already do this. We already do this. So it's really funny. Sometimes if I have a new coach or whatever, I'll go, and so how do you attract your clients? And I go, just energetically. They're like, oh, that's not a thing. Like, is it Facebook? Whatever. And I go, no, just energetically. And how that shows up is, by Elizabeth Gilbert is her name. Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. How that shows up is, for example, someone just randomly showed up in my calendar the other day, and I said to her, so how did you find out about me? And she's like, I have absolutely no idea. I just asked for the right coach for me that's going to help me go to my next level. And weirdly, I found you somehow and ended up in my messenger. Done, right? It can be that easy. It can be that easy. For this to happen, you've got to be really a clear channel. So, we're not always on the money with that. Number two, I've said this earlier, I believe marketing methods, we're going to get back to in-person connection, workshops, retreats, live events, in the community, local, literally face-to-face, right? I really, truly believe that's going to come back. And that goes back to that village connection that we're looking for. So if you could already start doing this. And I also believe, like for my clients who are around Australia, by the way, we used to do global, we just do Australia over the last couple of years, just kind of easier. We make sure we get our clients in the room together. We just had a 2-day Sistermind recently, and the transformation that happens and the connection and the intimacy that happens in that room is probably 6 months worth of online, right? It works. Number three, marketing method. Simple marketing, just simple. No halaba. I don't know what that even means, but no bells and whistles or big long sales pages or anything like that. I really, truly believe we're going to get to a point where we say, my name's Janine and this is what I do. Would you like that transformation? Come talk to me. Simple, right? I already do this. Like a lot in my marketing is like, here is what I do. If you want it, you come to me. I don't chase. Right? There's also some nuances in this with your own human design. I'm a manifesting generator. My strategy is to respond. So I'm not a chaser, right? I'm not going to chase any of you. And by the way, if you'd like the recording, go into the Facebook group. It's at the top. Okay. I'm no longer going to sit and private message everybody who asks for a replay. We're just going to tag you in the post for all of you ask for a replay and go, excellent, being a responsible grown-up woman that you are, it's at the top of this feed, right? I'm not wasting my time. And I say that with love and respect, but it's like, I'm not chasing you. I'm not getting minutia. I'm basically going, here is what I do. If you want it, here it is. Get resourceful, go find it, reach out for me if you want to work with me. I'm bloody awesome at what I do. In fact, I'm really fucking fantastic at what I do. I say that from not a lick of ego. I say that from results. I say that from truth and honesty. And if you want to channel your business entity, do business in such a beautiful, simple way that's completely bespoke to you, just reach out to me, write Rebirth, and I'll talk to you. Number four, in terms of the marketing, I believe we're going to see all sorts of new social media platforms coming out that are completely opposite to the ones that are out here today. And it's not going to be about likes, loves, all of that kind of thing, because that's dopamine hits to tap into our egoic nature. I believe that they're going to be really community oriented. And there's many that are already starting. But does anyone, sidebar, think it's really bizarre that there's a handful of like social media platforms in the entire world, right? Won't name them all, but there's just a handful. A little bizarre. So I believe all of it's going to flip. We're going to come back to elegant, simple, bespoke, no cookie cutter, no fear-based, less is more. Everything that you know about business is going to be flipped to unbusiness business. So there's much more I could talk about. That's where I'm going to leave it today. Again, thanks for joining me live or on the replay. Let me know what your insights are. And if you love what I'm talking about, and if you can feel in you that pull to work with me, this is what I do. I do business in an unbusiness way. It's energy first, and then it's the strategy second. So in other words, I do the feminine work first. Your frequency is what matters. And then we do the masculine after that. So if you want to do that, just write, I said VIP, if you want to talk about a VIP day with me. And if you want to know more about how to work with me, write rebirth. Oh, actually, that's right. If you were scaling, if you're ready to rebirth, write rebirth. And I'm making this up as I go, peeps. Write rebirth, and I will reach out personally too. All right. And yes, something's got to change. It's all good, people. All good. All right. Much love. Talk to you soon. Ciao.